Make it easy for us. What is IUI?
It is intrauterine insemination.
Okay.
Yes.
So how is that done? Like, what do they do?
Now I'm going to give you that experience.
Okay.
At first, before even that, I went to the hospital. I've gone to different hospitals. So I went to this hospital. They tell me I have a condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS.
Oh, yes.
So now I wanted, and I'm like, okay, all these doctors have been visiting. Why have they never said this?
I know.
I'm like, so what does that mean? They told me my ovary. I have so many ovaries, so they don't grow.
Yeah.
They do. You know how you have. The doctor explained to me that when you plant like so many seeds of like, let's say millet, you put it like in the same area, they all start competing on growth, and at the end of the day none grows. Yes. So they told me, actually, you're not ovulating. When an ovary grows, you have to ovulate. So when it ovulates, the ovary is either fertilized or it goes out, and then you get a fine shade.
Yeah.
And I wasn't getting that, and I didn't understand. I didn't understand.
That's when you went to a fertility center.
Yes, that is after I'd gone to a fertility center, and they explained to me that. So the doctor advised that I should do a surgery, so that they can do pruning.
Oh my God.
I can. That's the term I can use. Because when you have so many plants, you remove out
and leave those that
they can grow.
Yeah.
So they started pruning up. Like, okay. Then now, because that hospital was far, I decided to go to a nearby fertility center. It is also equally good. Yeah. So I went there. I told them what the doctor told me. So now this other doctor told me, no, if they do the pruning, they will destroy your ovaries. I was like, okay. So what am I supposed to do at this moment? It's like, we can only check your tubes, do IVF, or do any other. I first went home. Do you know the bills there? They bill you in dollars.
Wow.
Yeah, they bill in dollars.
I don't even know the exchange rate right now.
No, they'll tell you actually. They'll tell you a cost today. Tomorrow when you go, the dollar has gone high.
I know.
Yeah. So it's better you pay.
And the dollar never goes down.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. And I feel like because they know, like, you really want it, you can pay any amount.
Whatever it takes, you do it.
Business people.
Yes.
That's what and you, by the time you go to a fertility hospital, you're desperate.
Yeah.
You
want something.
You badly want it.
So now, instead, this doctor told me you can do a laparoscopic surgery for my tubes. They wanted. I first went for tube testing my tubes. Then they said they saw that it was like this. Then the other one they don't understand. So they said you go ahead and do surgery. And they see what is wrong with the tubes. We deal with the tubes, and then we do what? We can see.
So the surgery happens. They first saw the tubes for them to do the surgery.
Yes, they first test the tubes.
Yes.
Then they do the surgery.
This is what killed me. After I did the surgery, I was sick. I had a friend there. She slept on the night. She was alternating with my partner. My partner would go home. She comes. So I was the sick. I was there.
You're constant
in the hospital. So now we pay all that money. We pay a lot of money and do the surgery. After doing the surgery, this was supposed to be for the tubes.
Yes.
After the surgery, the doctor recommends you should do something called endogel to straighten the tubes. Then I asked them,
so many
why
things.
were you doing the surgery
surgery.
if you are not supposed
True.
to? Who if you didn't straighten the tubes?
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But they gave me a lot of medication. I want, like, it was so frustrating. I just decided to stick on the medication. Then I went back home because I had spent like a lot of money in all that. So I went home, settled what, and then after we went back there to do an IUI, the whole procedure, the whole process.
But before all these things, are there any kind like of emotional support the doctors give you, like prepare you emotionally for these things?
No,
or they'll just say
they
surgery
just
tomorrow.
know.
You're only emotional support.
Whoa.
Because you're not
They
even,
just-
I'm not even going to go and tell someone like, look here, I'm going through this. What?
I know.
So hard.
I remember the only support I had was, I think there are some things I don't tell people.
Yeah.
You don't tell people. I only tell my partner, tell my mother, and tell my mother-in-law. We are actually, when I say you have support, those are the three people that can know what is going on.
Yeah. You see, normally when you tell people like such issues, they always think you're trying to look for money from them. Because when you tell them I have a surgery, it's like, unagenda tu sawa
No,
but sometimes people are just looking for emotional support.
And I think what emotional support with failing to conceive, you don't even get it from other people.
Yeah.
People don't understand what you go through. You see that partner that you have. You see, I always tell my partner, you actually don't understand what I'm going through. And it's true. He doesn't understand what I'm going through. He'll feel pain because I'm feeling the pain, but he will not
deeply know what.
He will not deeply understand what I am going through.
Yeah.
It is, but he'll be there like, oh, don't worry, baby, don't worry. God, I know God. He always tells me that I know God one day will answer the prayer.
Amen.
He will. And I'm like, he's like, then he goes there, sometimes wants to be like, he's a preacher,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you're a prayerful woman. I pray. By the I pray a lot. I pray a lot. Every time. Even when before it was hard for me to pray. But later I started praying a lot. I knew this situation, it is only God who can, change it.
Yeah.
There is no one else. Yeah. So where was I?
That's what I wanted to do. You were taking us back. You did the IUI.
Yes.
The results
we
after
did the
that.
IUI.
Yes.
This is what killed me.
Oh.
So, you see, when you do IUI, you have to go through a 2 weeks treatment. No. Before you do it, your body is subjected all these kind of hormones to grow your ovaries, to do this, to do everything. And then after they've done the IUI, you go through a 2 weeks treatment. You're told how to sleep. You're told, when you're walking, walk like this. When you're sleeping, do like this. When you do, you're traumatized.
Yeah.
I don't remember telling anyone that, actually, this is what I'm going through. No, I didn't tell anyone. It is only me and my partner, the two of us, who knew what I was going through. So we kept there. After 2 weeks, came rushing. I'm like, let me go to the hospital, test positive that I have like twins, and we start now. I reached there. I went for testing. I was scared. You even be scared.
Yeah.
There is that. Yeah. The result is that fear. So I was like, no, I can't test. Buying a test and testing myself. What was wrong with that? Yeah. Like, no, let me walk to the hospital. I reached the hospital. I found when the machine was not working.
Oh God.
They told me to wait for an hour. I said, I wait. I waited.
You were determined.
Yeah. So now I went and tested, and then my results came. I was doing what? I was in the chair. I was praying. By the way, that whole period, I was praying, God, and I knew how I am going to break the news. I knew who to tell. I knew who to tell first, tell next, and tell like, because I had to. There are three. Tell my partner, call my mom, tell my mother-in-law. Those are three people. Those are like the three people that have like walked with me, that understand what, or like that know what I've been going through. That I tell anything that I am experiencing at the moment. You get it. So I go. The doctor calls me into her room, and then she tells me, like, oh, she's like, hey, you did IUI. I said yes. It's like, okay, I see the results are negative. I think we can cross, like, since the cycle has failed, we can proceed and do IVF.
Just like that.
Sorry. What are you saying? She didn't even want, like, it was okay for her. It has, it has failed.
And that's it. They are bagged their money and
I felt like
What are you even talking about?
Yeah. Then I saw darkness. I don't know where darkness came from. I looked at the woman like she had turned into a monster. I was like, where are your emotions?
No.
I'm like,
that's a fellow female.
It is so hard for me right now. It's really, it's so hard for me. But
making it harder.
And then I asked her, what made it fail? Then she told me at the time of IUI, mother sperm had done this. I'm like, so why was I not informed that the sperm had done this, like this had happened and this and that?
And why did they go ahead?
Why did you go ahead to do it? She's like, sometimes we take risks. And why did you have to take a risk on
without
me?
Even telling
without telling me. I was like, I was so sad. I was heartbroken. Have you ever gotten heartbroken before by someone you love?
Yeah.
I really got heartbroken. I saw darkness. I moved out of the hospital. I think everyone kept looking at me. I stormed out of the hospital. I went to the parking, got my car. I started crying. I was wailing. I was crying. I didn't care by that time if a car has knocked me, if anything has knocked. I didn't care. I just drove. I wanted to be somewhere. I wanted to be with someone, but then I was like, no one because no one understood what I was going through.
Had you broken the news to your partner?
No, I didn't tell him at that moment because no. I think I called him, but he wasn't picking up his call. When he didn't pick up, I drove through. I didn't care, by the way. I don't know how I reached. Like, I reached at my mother-in-law's, but she also didn't know what we were going through at that moment. So I kept quiet. We first, we reach there. Every time we reach there, she gives me breakfast or give me anytime I reach there, she welcomes me. She's such a wonderful woman. So now, as we are there eating, we start talking about it. I just wanted to talk to someone, but I didn't want to talk about it. So when so after some time, of course, she also saw my moods. So after, I don't remember what we were talking about. She saw I started crying. I she asked me, what's wrong? I told her, like, you know me and I'm like, we have been going through this and this, and I've gone to the hospital, and this is how I've been treated. And imagine, and I started crying, and she started encouraging me. She started telling me, she's like, don't worry, don't do that. Don't lose hope. God is going to do this. Why I rely on these two powerful women, my mother and my mother, they are prayerful people. And I know there are things I can tell my mom, I can't tell this one. And I know there are things I can tell this one and I can't tell this one. Because I know, and the reason I don't tell this one, because I know this will break this one, but this one will know how to handle this one. Yes. And I am there focused, by the for something. I am there focused, everyone is focused. They're focused about like on me. And that's it's been like it's hard. When I'm telling you, like, the experience is hard. It's hard. People talk different things. When people see you with someone and you're actually not conceiving, you're actually emotionally stressed.
Yes.
You're really stressed, but no one knows what you're going through. And even when you tell them what you're going through, they don't get it. Some of them, they think, someone bewitched you.
Some of these days I'm bewitched.
Anything. And then, like, there is nothing that is, that is impossible with God.
Sometimes I feel like even getting the right words to say to that person is so hard.
It's hard.
Like, tell them, take it easy, relax. How am I going to relax?
How am I relaxing?
Don't think about it.
How do you expect me to?
How do you feel?
About it?
So you think a person is trying for a child. You cannot move from morning to evening when you have not thought about it. And every time you like have sex, you're like, today
we have did
I mean, today it has cold. Kumbe. It has gone this way, that way.
Thank you so much, Percy, for your experience and sharing the story with us.
There's much more I can share, but for now, with time, I'll just tell you so much more.
All these things, and I hope it gives someone courage to move on. And the good thing with the NGO that you started, it's going to give people hope, it's going to give people emotional support, it's going to talk about these issues. We're going to be so bold about this issue, especially by the males. We are now speaking as the female version of infertility, but we have males that are suffering infertility and they don't even know how to go about it. They don't know who to talk to. You see, it's easier for a woman to open up, but it's so hard for a man. Imagine you're in the bar, your friends are watching football, and for you, all your thing is about, I failed to give my woman a baby. And you're the problem. But you see, women, there's a way women, we are soft about things. We can easily open up because we know our fellow women are also soft about it. So they can always come up and tell us, be this and that. But for the men, it is so hard to open up and talk about these things, or even accept the fact that this is actually happening to them.
One of the reasons why I started Unity Blossom Together Foundation was to give that space to women. When I am going through this, when I'm going through an infertility struggle, if I'm going through an IVF procedure preparations, or I've done the procedure, if I've gone through anything like infertility related, I have people to talk to. So we want, like, we are creating a space where women who are in the same struggle are going to be meeting. You talk to each other, you become each other's strength. It's a safe haven where you can talk to each other, understand each other. Because basically, if I tell you that, there is someone who say, how do you miss your period? Like, it's not normal. It's like, it's like, it is so strange for them. But for me, if someone tells me, I miss my periods, I'm like, I understand you. You get. So if I tell you that I went through IVF and it failed, you understand. You're like, I know, and I know how it feels. So that's what they're like. And then there are men. We actually encourage men to come out more. Men are committing suicide. I may not have like exact number or the percentages, but I know men are suffering down there, out there. I've known, like, and you don't hear them talk about it. You hear it from different angles. Women have gone, that's why sometimes you find in a family, some woman has, a woman is not conceiving. No, a woman has like 4 children, and they are all from a different man, so that they don't, embarrass their husbands. Yes,
And
they
also, the reason as to why men are so like it's so hard. Well, even women, it's hard for them, but also the men, like the reason as to why it is so hard for them to talk about it, like in their groups, in their friends, where they can be. Now, if they say, like, if their friends find out that they haven't had kids, they begin asking them, "Are you man enough?" Or telling them you're not man enough. And that hurts them so much. I think.
There is someone who told me, like, "Are you sure you guys are doing the right styles?" Then I was like, if you know, yeah. But I mean, we sometimes do enough, but I still believe God has the right timing. Yeah, I can't rule out that, and it's good that every woman looking for a child carries their own child. Carries their own child.
This IVF thing, if it's, well, as much as it's expensive, if someone has really gone for it, I wish there is a way they would. At least it works out.
No, you spend your 30 million, but you're not sure. And when you're talking to people, there is this lady. She's an old woman. I was telling her, I'm like, I think I should go for IVF. She was an old person and we are related, so we are talking about. Then she's like, those things don't work for her. She has her children, of course. Why does she understand? Those things don't work. She's like, but there is someone who did it and went to the toilet to pee, and the thing fell into the toilet. I was like, she was so insensitive. Infertility is something that is so sensitive.
You can't just.
You don't just talk about it. You just don't talk to people going through it just anyhow. You don't just say words. You have to calculate your words that you're going to tell someone, because you don't know how it is going to affect them, and where their minds are at that time, at that moment.
Now, like that one who said, "Have you tried this style?"
I know. People will just assume things
as if you've done everything.
And then it becomes, go ahead.
That reminds me of a friend. You see, growing up, we always thought, like, once someone gets married, the next thing is children, next thing they're going to school, graduate. So it was a cycle that we always saw. And I don't know if people were not talking about infertility in the past. I don't know if we are being more vocal now, but truthfully that I didn't see so many infertile couples or women those days. Because one thing I know about our grandparents and our parents is that one thing they did best was have children. You will not find a family that has 5 and less children. It was children, and children. So that is something I think, I don't know if the doctors can explain, but that trend has a bit gone down. It's either in a group of 100 women, at least 2 are infertile. But that was not the trend way back. So I don't know what would have caused the trend to go down. I don't know if people were not more vocal about it. But even you'd still see the women and they have children and this. It was, yes, they were there, but there were not so many. But recently, in a group of 10 friends, at least 1 is suffering infertility. So I do not know if there's a problem in there or something. Because I remember the first time I I got to know about infertility was through a friend. So she had, you see, after campus, she immediately got married. So even when we were still at campus, she was dating. And the man always wanted to have children. Because she kept telling me, hey, he wants children, he wants children. But then she's like, no, I want to finish my course, then we can do that. So right after campus, I remember we graduated in January. By April, they were married, officially married.
Okay.
So she gets into marriage and they start trying for children, just like any other couple. 1 month down the road, 2 months down the road, 3 months, 4, 5. And sometimes we say things, but we do not know their effect on people.
Yeah.
So I remember we used to have like a group of girls, would go hang out, what. So we kept telling her, like, where are the babies? So we would joke about it and be
They
like,
ask,
but we were saying it out of, we didn't know that she was trying and things were failing. But I would always read her mood. Every time we talk to kids,
Kids,
that's
the
how we
mood.
should
And you
feel.
guys were not caring
Yes.
to know what she's
Yes.
going through.
But
They can't know.
with
Yeah.
time, the more like people would say it. Sometimes we'd go to her home and her relatives are there and they'll be like, serious? Like you see that thing and in the back of my mind I'm like, maybe she's trying and things are not working out.
Yeah.
And it's hard to always start these conversations. If these people do not open up, there's no you can start asking, are you trying? Have you tried chameleon style? Have you get? So it's up to the person to open up to you, then you can easily come in. So it always hard, but I didn't know, how do I start this conversation? Is she even comfortable talking to me? Yes, I'm her friend, but there are some things that you do not say to everyone. So I really wanted to know what was happening, but I didn't know how to start the conversation. So 1 year down the road, she sends me a message. She's like, hey, Momo, you know many people. Would you have a number of a gynecologist? So I'm like, what exactly do you need? Do you need like a general gynecologist? Are you specific or what? Because I was trying to push to see if like she needed like a fertility person or something. She's like, I will need, for now, I'll try a general one, then I see from there. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to send you 2 numbers. You can talk to them, have an opinion from both of them, and you let me know. If they don't work, I can still give you others. So she's like, thank you. I send her the numbers. She talks to the doctors. Of course, you know the privacy. The doctors don't like what. I told her you can tell them I sent you so that maybe even on the bill they can cut you down. So she talks to the doctors and all that. She doesn't tell me why she needed the doctors. So I gave it time. After like 2 weeks, I called her and asked her, did you talk to the doctors I gave you? She's like, yes, I did. Were they helpful? She said, yes, thank you. It ended there. So 2 years in their marriage. I remember what, her birthday. And then, you know, like after the birthday, then I say something to like the people that have come for your birthday. So during her speech and what, she's like, you people, I am happy right now, but after this, I am sad. And we're like, you're happy and now then after you're sad? And we're all not speaking. We're like, so in my head, I'm like, is that like a suicidal thought? Has she been like going through suicidal things? So we're all quiet about it. She's like, what exactly is she trying to mean? So she's like, anyway, I was just joking. It's a party. So it struck me after that point when she said, I am happy now, but after I will not.
You the overthinker.
Very, very much.
You want to think for people.
So I call her the next morning. I'm like, by the way, you said this last time. What did you mean? And she burst out and cried. So I asked her, where could you be? Can I come? Like, can we talk or something? So she's like, come home. You can come and we talk. So I'm like, you have to be ready to talk. I don't want to be like, I am pushing you to talk. So I told her, whenever you're ready, you can call me and we talk. So So she told me, I'm ready. She's like, in fact, even last time when you gave me the doctor's number, I wanted to tell you, but I thought maybe the doctor had told you. I'm like, no, these doctors do not share things with. Yeah, that is your business with the doctor. So I find time, I go and talk to her. So she starts narrating the whole thing. And the bit about her, me, I always thought that infertility, you actually don't go into your periods at all. She sees her periods.
Monthly.
Every
month.
Out with cramps and they are heavy. So I was like, okay. So she opens up, she tells me how the man badly wants children, what. Sometimes when he's drunk and comes home, he starts bringing up the topic and all that. And she has seen various doctors. The man keeps telling her how she's wasting his money because, of course, the man is the one that does the payment. And there's some hurtful things that the partner would say. And he'll be like, hey, for your point, you always aborted and what? And she's like, I need someone to understand me first.
Yeah.
And if your partner does not understand you, it's even hard for the outer people to understand you.
Yeah, true. That's true.
So she told me, you see us, we are happy, we go what? And you're like, hey mama, those guys, but behind the curtains, I am suffering, and I'm suffering alone.
Yeah.
In that even the mother-in-law would call her and start telling her, Mitch, what's the problem?
For real.
Hey, what
so
did you do?
Yeah.
They even reached a point and say, Baba kakuroga. Can you imagine your own family, the people who should be giving you hope and all that emotional support, are now against you? She even told me she reached a point and told the man, you know what? Let's call this quits because this is a lot of pressure on me. So she opened up to all the things she has done, the prayers, the fasting, the herbs. Because you try everything.
Yeah, do you know the herbals that people drink that we drink? You know, every time you're carrying jerry cans.
24/7, she told me that fridge is full of herbs. I drink herbs and cold, hot, warm. All kinds of herbs. Then they'll tell you about the other prayer warrior. You run.
Good. There's sometimes when I would be carrying a jerry can of herbals. I know my partner sometimes like he looks at it like, hey honey, today you're taking green juice. I'm on green juice. Yeah.
So she told me she has gone through a lot emotionally, and the only support she has was her mother and maybe her sisters. But yes, that support may be there, but if your own partner is not supporting you, it gets even harder. In that she would even go for doctor's appointments, those injections that they give them, and she has to drive herself back. And she's not feeling at her best, but her partner is not. Apart from swiping his card and say, bill paid, that's all. But emotionally, even asking, so when you went to see the doctors, what did they say? No. He was not that kind of partner. So I asked her, have you talked to him about it? Have you told him how you feel about your reactions and all that?
Okay, the sound is
We will remove it.
So we were like, so I asked her, have you told your partner about how you feel? So I asked her, have you told your partner about how you feel? Because if you know, some men do not even actually know that they're doing something wrong. So I'm like, you need to tell him. You're like, we're in this together. I did not decide to be this way. I found myself this way. So in all this, I personally had the initiative of talking to the man, because even getting to know that lady, it was through me. We were not like friends, but you know, like how you go out and a friend invites other male friends, then you go out, then like you exchange numbers. So he saw the lady's photo on my status and like, oh, I think I like her, can you give me her number? I was like, I'm going to ask her. So there was a connection
Madam
between
Connector.
me and, no, not Madam I'm not selling anything. So yes, so I was very, very intentional about this. I wanted him to know that there's something he's not doing right. So I called him up. I asked him if I can talk to him. He's like, yeah, we can talk. But I told him, I don't want to speak to you on phone. I want to see you and we talk. And he's like, by the time you're asking to see me and we talk, it must be something big. I'm like, no, it's just casual. But I don't want us to have a long conversation. So he's like, fine, we can meet Friday after work. I'm like, fine, where can we meet? He tells me where he wants to meet. So he wanted to meet in a bar, but I told him, no, I'm hungry. Can we go to a restaurant? I wanted a place that, we are comfortable and we can listen to each other. So we meet. It was casual in the start. I didn't want to start off immediately. So it was casual. How have you been? Long time. How is the family? Blah, blah, blah. Until I finally opened up. I'm like, by the way, your wife told me that she has been trying to be pregnant and things haven't worked out. She has tried everything. She has done the herbals. She has prayed. They also did IVF and it failed. And she tells me in all this, you're not giving her the kind of emotional support she expects out of the man. I do not want to say this, but it's what he said. Konkita bachiga maratumani. I didn't want to. It's what he said. So I was like, okay, yes, you may be a mochiga and all that. But a bit of emotion. Yeah, remember when you were crying, have a kind of love you had. That is the same kind of love she needs. So he's like, anyway, sometimes we do things the thing, she tells me she wants money. And I pay for these things. I'm like, it's not about the money. She goes through a lot. The injections, the what, even the mocking from people. Yes. She goes out, she sees people carrying babies. You think she doesn't want to carry babies? You think she doesn't want to have a baby shower? You think she doesn't want to go shopping for baby things? All these things she wants. But you as a partner, you're supposed to be there for her. You're supposed to tell her that things are going to get better. Even if you never have children, show that you still love the person you saw in her. It's not about the babies. Because it feels like now what is bringing you together is the babies. What happens if you never have them? That means the love is gone. And besides, you knew her even before you tried to have babies. So that is the same love she expects. I told him, put yourself in her shoes. Imagine you are the infertile man. You think she'll be that emotionless to you? She would embrace you, should know this is the man I chose, and that is it.
If he has to lie, he has to lie. There are some things, some words that my partner would tell me, and I know he's lying. Yes, but I know. Yes, at least it's encouraging. But you're lying. Like, you see, baby, I met you when we are the two of us. But even if the baby doesn't come, we shall stay the two of us. I'm like, honey. I know he's lying, but it's encouraging. You get it gives me. So I don't feel so pressured. That guy has not pressured me at all. I've gotten pressure from people, from the society. The society will judge you. They will tell you things. I've had things.
And it's funny how some say,
There's someone who asked me, are you studying the man? Is it? I'm like,
how many years?
I know. Then I was like, you guys, if it is math, I know I'm not good at math. But if it is studying, I should have graduated, but looks like it is going wrong. I get but
that friend of mine reached a point, and she even began saying she's on family planning,
telling people
to hide it
because of the use of ask you this one giving you, why not giving back? What? And she was like, I'm on family planning. When I want to give back, I'll give back.
That's what you have to do. People, actually, even our colleagues. I'm a person, I make friends so easily. I have a friend from work. She's my personal therapist. I call her like, Brenda, come here, sit here. I tell her everything. And she listens. Then she, of course, every time, most times, if you see me close to a person, know that person knows God. Yes. That person knows God. And she tells me, like, God will do it at her own timing. And when we have to cry, sometimes we cry together. If I want to cry, because most of the times when you're in the house alone, most of the times you're crying, you're saying, there's this time I was in the house, I saw the bump, this bump love. They were talking about, there was someone who made a tweet about children being a setback. And then the bump love brought it as a topic. They said, are children a setback to someone's life, I think, like that. Then someone in the comment section said, like, tell that if you think they're a setback, tell that someone has been trying to conceive for 4 years. Then I started crying. I started crying. I was like, I felt so bad. I'm like, I wish like God can give me this child and becomes a setback. I'll handle the setback.
I'm ready for the setback.
I'm ready for the setback. Let the child come and I'll take on that setback. But
so after, as I was telling you, after I had talked to the husband, to my friend, she literally told me things changed. It may not have been drastic, but it took time, slowly. At least once in a while, when she would go for these checkups and this and that, he would always ask, sometimes drive him there. He became friends to the doctors. He would call the doctors and ask, so we have tried this, it has failed, what else can we try? He would literally bring herbal medicine
for her.
Yes, like he would go like up country and they tell him, try this, and he would carry it and bring it to the wife and even have an explanation. They say this one is for drinking cold, this one is for drinking warm, this one do not refrigerate. So literally he became part of this journey. 4 years down the road, they have a bouncing baby girl.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And the beauty about infertility, or the bad thing about infertility, you do not know what worked.
Yeah,
because she has tried everything.
Yes.
So it goes back to God's timing. Really.
Yeah,
if it is your time, it will happen. If it is not your time, it will not happen.
Yeah.
So every time people are asking her, what exactly did you use? Like, now me, what should I tell you? I did IVF. I did injection. I did over hormonal what? I did traditional. I prayed. I did this, but when the time was right, I had my baby.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is the thing about infertility. You never know what has worked and what hasn't, because you have lots and lots.
You've done a lot of things
that you have done. So you never know what worked, but God's timing is never wrong. So that brings me back to your question, because for you it's, you have been there, you're there. So what are some of the things you wish people would do better? Like the people around you. You said you need the emotional support, but how are we supposed to give this emotional support if people have not told us about this? What are some of the things you think we need to know, especially once someone has opened up to you? How can you help them to move this journey? What are some of the things you feel people need to do different when it comes to infertility?
First of all, if someone has opened up to you, meaning that means someone trusts you,
Yes.
or has reached a point of where I cannot keep this thing to myself anymore.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is be there for the person, talk to them, ask them if keep checking on them. Yeah. People are depressed there in their own houses, in their cars they are driving, at their workplace they are working, but they are depressed. Talk to them, call them go for prayer meetings with them. Go for prayer. The one thing I love about God and the Bible is it encourages you. It gives you hope. Yeah. There is hope. God created you as a woman, and as a woman, you're supposed to give birth.
Yes.
Yes. So when you read the Bible, when you pray, you get the hope and the courage. Yeah. Yes. So we should learn, and we should stop judging people. If you see me not giving birth, I may not be trying. Stop judging someone. Don't judge people. Understand people. Understand maybe this person is trying. People are doing their best. But people, like someone said, where are the grandchildren? I also want grandchildren. I'm not seeing them. I'm looking for them. Where are they? I know. Yeah. So I think people should stop judging other people. Yeah. If someone really wants to be pregnant and they are not, they are trying. Mm-hmm. Everyone is trying their best. Mm-hmm. And the only thing they require from you is emotional support. Mm-hmm. Talk to them, understand them, and listen to them. Give them a listening ear. Most times you find if your partner is not your, sometimes, we stress people. You stress people. That's why you have to choose to certain people you talk to. Yeah. Yes. Okay. If I call my partner and he doesn't pick up, or if we've not talked, I know there is my therapist there. Yeah. I'll call her, listen, this is this is what is happening, this and this and that. Yeah. And she will listen. She will listen and she will tell you everything will be fine. Yeah. She has not been in my situation, but when I tell her, she will assume she has understood. Yeah. She will never understand what I'm going through, by the way. She will never. True. But she will assume she has, understood, and she will tell you the right words. Yeah. Learn how to tell people the right words. Tell them what suits within that, especially when it comes to their fertility, when it comes to natural things. Having a child is a natural thing. Yeah. And you never know what brought up this situation. I have a sister. She's my younger sister. Every time when she coughs like this, she's pregnant.
I know. It's that easy.
Yeah, it is so easy for her. And I love children. I love children so much. I have that passion with children. I love them. And at some point, you see, there are some points when I would be with my niece. I have, my sister's first child. Yeah. And I would want like when you go to the village, they say like, that's Precious' child, you get it? Yes. But she's not my child. She's my niece. Yes. And I love her. And I remember when my partner asked me like, the way you love your niece, imagine how much you're going to love your own child. You get it? Yes. And of course, none of us has lost hope. None. We have not. Yes. Yeah.
So Prudence, when your friend finally told you about the journey she was moving of infertility, what kind of help did you render her?
For starters, I think I'm not good at.
Wait, sorry.
So Prudence, what is when your friend like opened up about the journey to infertility, what is some of the help that you rendered to her?
To begin with, I think I'll say yes, she told me, but I think I'm not good at giving what?
Advice?
Advice. But when she told me, okay, she called me, then she told me that her tubes were blocked, both of them. So the first word I said was, what?
Yeah. The shock.
Yeah, the shock. And then I didn't understand what
how can tubes be blocked?
How can tubes be blocked? Then what? But then after whatever she passed through, we tried to be with her. We would sing together. We would sing songs for her, like trying to make her what?
Forget.
Yes, forget, because what she had passed through was so hard.
Yeah.
So we were trying to be there with her. She spent some time home for about a week.
Yeah.
A week. As I told you, she's someone who doesn't express her pain.
Yes.
So in a period of 1 week, she showed us like she was fine, and she went back home.
Okay.
Yeah. So we would call her and ask how she is, and she was like, she's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she kept being the strong person she was.
Okay, like when she told me, we had to bring her home. She stayed home like for 1 week, and then after 1 week, like 1 week and some days or 1 week after that, she had to go back home because she's not someone who, she's strong. She's a strong lady.
Yes.
So within a week, after 1 week, she was fine and she was ready to go back home. That's why she told us. She was like, she's okay and she can manage.
Yeah.
She can be okay. Yeah.
So did you like continuously keep calling and checking on her?
Yes, we did. Actually, even before she went back, we used to sing together. We get guitar, we sing songs, we play, and to bring some life to her so that she forgets about the pain, the trauma she had passed through. Yeah, so I call her, we talk to her and ask how she is, and she's doing great.
Okay. And the partner?
The partner
is still together?
Yes, they are still together.
Okay. So they are moving this journey together?
Yes, they are moving the journey together.
Okay.
Though they haven't, of course, got
had the baby yet.
They are fine. Yeah.
Okay. We are done. I'm going to ask this one now. So, Posi, you have taken us through your journey of infertility. And I've been wondering, as couples, how does infertility affect relationships?
There are a lot of effects that come around your relationship when you're going through all that. When you're trying to conceive and you're unable to get a child. Sometimes you feel your partner is not understanding you. At times I would feel like he's actually not understand. Does he even understand what I want? Does he even know what I'm going through? Because it is me, and it's worse when you know who the problem is. I am the problem. But what are you doing about it? I feel men react to things differently. Yes. I don't know, the kind of emotional support like sometimes you want from someone. I would feel like I want him to say, no, when I say, let's do this, you do this. Those things of you take me like you start, but why are you doing? Why are you stressing yourself? God is going to do this. Sometimes in this journey, you feel like
I no longer want to rely on this. Let me do what? Let me go to the hospital. Let me take herbals. Let me do
Can
this.
you try something and saying go?
Yes. And then he will just tell us like, no, you're doing too much. And you're stressing yourself, which is true. You're stressing yourself, and at the end of the day, none of them is going to work for you. Yes, and the more you do all that, is your partner also gets tired. I can't. There is a time I felt like he was really like tired of me, but he can't tell you. He wasn't telling me that he's tired, but I would feel it in him. But after, of course, you talk. It's good when you're friends with someone that you can talk to them. Was able, like with time, it's just a period of time. It's just a period of time. You're stressed and you're on. I saw someone who told me like, when they want to do IVF, when you're going to do IVF, the woman just has to give their sperms.
The sperm.
The man gives the sperm. And then the woman, of course, they retrieve the eggs. But that experience, if you make a man give sperms in the hospital once, twice, they get irritated and tired.
Remember, they have to forcefully.
Yes, yes, and men like they always get tired, and like I'd said, it's a challenge. It's so hard when you know who the problem is, because you feel like I have to do extra things for this to work. I have to do this. There are sometimes I would do something, I'm like, I'm doing this for me, but I'm not going to get pregnant with me alone. I will need my partner to do what? To conceive. And I would do some things, and then I tell him, by the way, I've been doing this, and he's like, oh, you didn't tell me. Like, I didn't want to put pressure on you. And then I feel like he's not understanding me. So there are so many fights that come along when you're with your partner, because just because you feel like they don't understand you, and I think also they at some point they get tired of you.
Even financially draining.
It is financially draining. Instead of like going on dates, like even like you're supposed to be developing yourself, making developments, but for you, you're investing in the hospital. And at the end of the day, when you invest in the hospital, you come out with nothing. It is draining. We'll be assuming, as a woman, we'll be assuming that I am stressed. But even your partner is actually stressed their own way. Sometimes we don't go an extra mile to understand what they are going through. We are concentrating on ourselves because you're the one who is actually. You feel like, me, I am trying. Me, I'm perfect. I'm trying. But for you, what are you doing? Maybe they're also trying. You don't know. They're trying by the fact that they have not abused you, done what. I remember way back, I was still young. I had this man's testimony. He told good thing he got born again. He said he married the wife. So after the wedding, the wife was going in the periods. She was even going in that period. Goes in the periods. Done what? Then told her one day, she's like, if I see you going into your periods any other time, do not step in my house. Whoa. All you're doing is eating and going to the toilet. So this man wasn't understanding what was going on. He didn't understand he wasn't understanding the wife. And if at all, I want to think, why I've never forgotten it, like from the time he gave the testimony, I have never, because from there, I even went home and told people, I can't even believe this and this, did this to the wife and all that. It's like, must be tough. But of course, I didn't understand, why. Me, I was just narrating of what he did to your wife, but I didn't understand like the magnitude of it, how big it can be, like how it stresses people. Someone gets stressed in that tells you, this and this and that. Yes, and I feel like that woman, of course, that woman also didn't want to. She also wanted to have the baby at that moment, but her periods kept coming. So I think she got peace when she missed her periods. Yeah. So there are great. There are always fights and stress and the trauma that comes in relationships when you people are failing to conceive. You people are failing to conceive. Everything someone does, you feel like, is it because I've not conceived? If he does a mistake, does something, is it because I've not given you a baby? If anything small that he does, you always have to run. It runs your mind. Yes.
I think even even if you see the man, like if someone has called them, and maybe even they are not trying to hide, he's gone outside, he has gone like talking, and for you immediately be like, why is this one hiding? Has he gotten another
woman? Yes. And of course, having me, I think the support system is the key. Your partner is your support system.
Yes.
In all this, he's supposed to.
Your first support system.
Exactly. The problem comes when his family also comes and they are so stressing. Me, I'm actually thankful to his family side. They are so supportive. They are my friends. First of all, I established like friendship with them. They are my friends. So of course also I can't say like they don't get worried. They do, but I don't get that kind of pressure. Yes, because putting pressure is like you find they call him, why isn't she giving birth? Marry someone else. Do and I thank God for that. It's a blessing. It is.
True.
Otherwise, me, when I get stressed, I run mad. I first ran mad for some minutes there, and then after I get back to normal. I'm like, okay, But I think sometimes God doesn't give you, a burden that you cannot carry. So I thank God. I thank God for his family, and I thank God for my family also, and some friends around me that have been supportive, and I want us like together we can support other women.
True.
And men should come out. We need men to come out. And when because when they share the stories, other people are going to come out. They'll come out, they'll know, oh, there is another man who is going through this. Oh, there is someone who is going through this. And the society, we shall, the mental state will be at ease. Yes, it is still stressing, but when you get someone who is going through the same thing that you're going through, yes, you get some relief. You talk to them. There are even some solutions someone can tell you, and it works for you. But because they don't know that you're actually there, you're also struggling, they'll never tell you that. So we are determined to create a safe haven for the women and the men, and we are sure within the next 10 years, we should be having, our voice should be out there. We should, women should be able to freely talk about this and support each other. You have someone to call on phone, you're like, hey, Prudence, I'm going through this and this and that. Hey, and you feel this person understands you.
Thank you, Prudence, for sharing your friend story with us. I'm sure someone out there has found hope and known that they are not moving this journey alone. A special thank you to Prosi. the founder of this NGO that we partnered with, for being vulnerable with us, telling us your story, telling us all the things you have gone through, giving people hope. And thank you too for opening up this space or this NGO where people are going to feel safe, feel heard, and also get solutions to the different problems that they have moved this journey of infertility with. Thank you so much, our viewers, for having us today. Thank you for giving us your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I remain your host, Kenigisha Morin.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you next time.